As the emotional web tightens, bonds deepen and secrets inch closer to exposure. Poor Charles braces for impact as family ties, buried truths, and chance encounters move the story toward an inevitable reveal. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Messy Syrup. It's me, Abby, here. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Keep watching, so let's dive into today's video. Here is your General Hospital Spoilers sneak peek video for Thursday, May 15, 2025. Lucky was sure that there was nothing to worry about when it came to Rick's car because it had been destroyed, or so he thought. The lot attendant had told him the car was destroyed, but then Rick told Elizabeth that the insurance company had it. When Lucky goes to Alexis to ask why Rick would lie, does he start putting two and two together and get commitment papers? If Alexis knows that Christina cut the brakes on Rick's car, the commitment idea would start to make sense. That would mean Rick also knows, or why would he lie? As for Rick, he also has some questions for Alexis, but she doesn't care to give him the time of day. While Dante is still ranting and raving that Gio is the cause of world hunger, as well as Rocco deciding to drink at a college party, Gio finds himself opening up to Sunny about what happened. Sunny tried to tell Dante to go easy on Gio, and he seemed to realize he was blaming the wrong person. But Dante is right back to where he was a week ago. When Sunny realizes how much this has all hurt Gio, he tells the young man that he can turn to him at any time. At least, Gio gets to make friends with Donna, who appears to be rehearsing for the nurses' ball. Lulu just can't let up on Brooklyn and starts picking Cody's brain for more info. However, he tells her that he is not playing this game anymore. Back at the Q boathouse, Brooklyn breaks down with Chase and tells him that she would give anything to meet her son. Is she starting to change her mind about not searching for him? Perhaps she can turn to Jason and ask him to use his criminal training to track down her child. That would make all of Tracy's wishes come true. General Hospital Spoilers reveal that Drew Kane may have a prison promise for Nina Reeves. So let's discuss the 4 vengeful words he may throw at her eventually. At the moment, Drew's still fuzzy on what happened the night he was given a ketamine dose. Although Drew realizes Portia Robinson was part of the drugging plot, he doesn't have the full picture yet. Brad Cooper snitched on Portia, but he obviously didn't know about Nina's involvement. However, Nina won't be able to keep a lid on her role in all the Jacinda drama indefinitely. One way or another, Nina will be exposed as Portia's partner in crime. Even if Portia keeps quiet to protect Nina, here will surely be some path to Drew figuring out the whole story. What happens once Drew realizes Nina was the one who came up with this idea and tried to blow up his relationship with Willow Corinthos? It didn't work, but Drew still landed at the center of a very public scandal. Drew has already vowed to take down the person responsible, so Nina will have to pay the price for her actions. You can be sure that Drew will want Nina arrested and ultimately locked up for this. That's especially true since Nina was the SEC snitch who led to Drew's own time in the slammer. Now it'll be Drew's chance to return the favor if he can prove Nina was behind the drugging setup and this major attempt to sabotage him. Once Drew discovers what Nina did, GA spoilers suggest that may lead to his prison promise. Drew may say 6 vengeful words as he assures Nina of what's coming. You're going to prison. Will Nina actually get arrested and potentially do some prison time for this? Will Nina manage to evade justice despite Drew's desire to see her locked up? Regardless, Drew has certainly done some things he needs to pay for as well, so we'll give you updates on the bad news that's headed his way. General Hospital Spoilers update for Thursday, May 15, reveals that Dante Falconieri will double down on his Giovanni Gio Palmieri outrage, while Christina Corinthos Davis lies pile up. Donna Corinthos' wish will also be granted, so here's what GH fans can look forward to. For starters, Elizabeth Baldwin will welcome Lucas Jones to her home for a visit, while Christina is forced to hide her trail across town. Christina goofed when she talked about the passenger side damage on Rick Lansing's car, since Dante's questioning how she even saw it. Now Christina will once again have to lie her way out of trouble. Speaking of lies, Lucky Spencer will have growing concerns since Rick's blaming Black Ice for the crash and claiming the insurance company came for the totaled car. It won't be long until Lucky puts his investigative skills to good use. Lucky will eventually quiz Alexis Davis about the reason for Rick's deception. So Alexis will have to decide how to handle this. Will Alexis realize Lucky knows the truth about Christina's car sabotage and is helping to cover it up? Will Lucky discover that Alexis is being blackmailed and that Ava Jerome is using the vehicle as leverage? Regardless, Alexis would like to get rid of the car now that Damian Spinelli has pointed her toward the storage property. But some snags are brewing. Rick will have questions and seem suspicious on Thursday's show, so we'll see if he's able to warn Ava before Alexis can make a move. At some point, Rick will also be on the receiving end of someone's proposal, so he's got plenty of intriguing scenes on the way. Meanwhile, it looks like Cody Bell will shut down the next phase of Lulu Spencer's attempt to prove Gio's parentage. Lulu will ask Cody to do something for her, but he'll insist it's not happening. Even so, Lulu won't give up on her plan to score evidence that Gio is Dante and Brooklyn Quartermain's child. Speaking of Brooklyn, she'll tell Harrison Chase about how much she wants to meet her baby boy, now that he's all grown up. Brooklyn will get some comfort from Chase, since neither one of them knows Gio is the son she's longing for. Other General Hospital spoilers say Gio will grant Donna's wish and perhaps agree to play the violin while she performs at the nurses' ball. However, Sonny Corinthos will sense that Gio is upset following Dante's meltdown and will offer to listen. Gio thinks Dante finally revealed his real feelings toward him and that he has no respect for him at all. Sonny may assure Gio that's not true and suggest Dante just got scared over Rocco Falconeri's medical crisis. Dante needed someone to blame in that moment, so Sonny may insist Gio was a convenient target. Sonny will probably assure Gio that things will calm down soon, and he'll make it clear that Gio can always call him if he needs support. Dante seemed like he was softening toward Gio when he met back up with Lois Cerullo recently, but he'll revisit his Gio outrage on Thursday's episode. Rocco will once again take responsibility for his alcohol poisoning, but Dante won't let Gio off the hook. Since Dante feels like Gio should have been the adult in that situation and called for medical help immediately, he'll continue to hold a grudge. Of course, Dante's feelings could change when he inevitably finds out he shares a father-son connection with Gio, and Lulu will make it her mission to expose that link in the coming episodes. Here are your General Hospital spoilers for Thursday, May 15, 2025. Apparently, Dante didn't mean it when he told Lois he'd realized he'd been too hard on Gio. When Rocco comes to him to take more blame for his actions, Dante announces that Gio screwed up and this was all on him. Meanwhile, Gio spends some more time at the nurses' ball rehearsal hall, where he runs into Sonny. He brings Donna to rehearse a number, but Sonny can tell there is something bothering Gio and offers to be his sounding board. It seems clearer than ever that Sonny knows that Gio is his grandson. Back at the Q Mansion, Brooklyn can't stop thinking about her son and tells Chase that she would do anything to meet him. Little does she know that he's right there in the house with her and she watched him grow up. Before he has words with Rocco, Dante wants to know how Christina saw Rick's car the night of the accident. Christina has to think fast and do some damage control, which is par for the course with Christina. Will she tell her police detective brother that she had only heard through the grapevine what Rick's car looked like after the crash? Dante already thinks that the amount of time Christina spends dwelling on this accident is odd. Will he start to suspect she had something to do with it? When Lucky went to the impoundment lot just after Rick and Elizabeth's accident, He was told that the car had been destroyed and believed Christina got lucky, so to speak. Hearing from Liz that Rick told her the insurance company took the car piqued Lucky's curiosity. He decides to question Alexis and asks her why Rick is lying about his own car. Knowing that Alexis also wanted to have Christina committed might send off some alarm bells in his head. Could Alexis know what happened, and did Rick and Ava tip her off? According to the storyline of General Hospital, Dr. Isaiah Gannon's brewing relationship with former Deputy Mayor Jordan Ashford suddenly stalled after she took a job with Sidwell. Jordan felt she needed to focus on going undercover to bring the crime lord down, as Sidwell was the one who held Isaiah hostage. In the episode of General Hospital that premiered on April 21, 2025, Jordan made it clear that she wanted to end her relationship with Isaiah. She planned to secretly work against Sidwell. When Jordan announced that their relationship needed to end, Isaiah stated that he did not wish to break up. He also told Jordan that Sidwell was too dangerous. In the latest storyline of the ABC soap, Isaiah has been saving lives at the hospital. Fans wondered why the show hasn't revealed more about his backstory. Since Isaiah is no longer involved with Jordan, viewers are curious about what the show plans for his character. After Isaiah's character was introduced in General Hospital, besides showcasing his medical talents, he quickly became a charming figure who got along with everybody. Since he had the confidence and skills to become a formidable doctor, fans stated that he should be made part of a big-picture hospital story. Isaiah's character was introduced to Port Charles through his connection to Lucky. However, the two barely talked to each other because Lucky had been spending all his time taking care of Liz and making sure that his romance with Liz would reignite. The current plot revolving around Isaiah hinted at the fact that he could develop friendships with Lucas, Liz, Lucky, and Marco. However, he might have an issue with Marco since his father was Sidwell. Since he was on a break with Jordan, viewers predicted that things would get complicated between the two after Jordan was free from the Sidwell mess. On August 28, 2024, it was revealed on the show that Lucky and Isaiah were in a refugee camp in East Africa, which was run by a criminal named Jen Sidwell. Lucky made arrangements for Isaiah to escape the compound as the doctor left with a guard. Isaiah woke up on September 9, 2024, and immediately asked about Lucky. Nurse Elizabeth told him she was married to Lucky and they have a son named Aiden Weber. At the same time, Commissioner Anna Devane visited Isaiah to learn more about his accident and where Lucky was. Isaiah told her about Sidwell and Lucky being at the refugee camp and about the failed attempt on his life. He then met Jordan and said he was grateful to her. When she tried to get more information from him, he stated that he was a transplant surgeon from Chicago. He added that he was worried about Lucky. Later, after serving as Lulu Spencer's liver transplant surgeon, Isaiah received an offer to become a doctor at the hospital, which he eventually accepted. Sawandi Wilson was born in New York to Caribbean parents. Daytime fans recognized him for his performance as Dr. Isaiah Gannon on the ABC soap opera General Hospital. The American actor began his artistic pursuit as a breakdancer. Later, he pursued his higher education at Hofstra University, where he received a BA degree in sociology. He then went ahead to study acting and learn about on-camera techniques. Apart from playing Isaiah on GH, Sawandi Wilson appeared in multiple films and television shows, enhancing his acting portfolio. Wilson's fans could catch a glimpse of the actor in popular productions such as Star Trek, Discovery, Beloved, Harlem, Run the World, Esther in Wonderland, and The Dinner Party. Besides waiting to witness the upcoming roles Wilson portrays in the future, his fans are eager to find out what happens next to his character, Isaiah, on General Hospital. In a dramatic turn of events on General Hospital, Drew Kane's attempt to exact revenge on Nana Reeves may lead to unintended consequences. Recent developments reveal that Brad was compensated handsomely for disclosing key information to Drew. namely, that Portia was responsible for administering a dose of ketamine linked to Drew's recent turmoil. This powerful sedative was the same substance Drew unknowingly ingested, triggering a series of damaging events that upended his life. However, Portia isn't the only player in this high-stakes setup. Nina, too, is implicated in the broader scheme to undermine Drew. While Drew currently holds partial knowledge of the conspiracy, the complete picture is slowly coming into focus. Despite having incriminating evidence against Portia, Drew opts not to expose her immediately. Instead, he chooses to leverage this information as a tool for manipulation. Drew's primary objective is not simple retaliation, but strategic control. He believes Portia's influence over Curtis could be instrumental in gaining Curtis's support, something Drew considers vital to restoring his position and credibility. As such, he pressures Portia into persuading Curtis to publicly back him. But the situation escalates when Drew discovers Nina's involvement. Unlike Portia, Nina offers no strategic advantage to him, prompting Drew to take a more direct route of retribution. He enlists Brad again, this time to obtain another vial of ketamine, intending to use it on Nina at the high-profile nurse's ball. The plan is risky. By drugging Nina, Drew hopes to provoke erratic behavior that could irreparably tarnish her public image. There's even speculation that under the influence, Nina might expose sensitive secrets, including a past romantic entanglement with Drew and potentially damaging revelations about his character. Yet, revenge rarely unfolds as planned. Instead of discrediting Nina, Drew's scheme could spiral out of control, leading to backlash that harms his own reputation. As the nurse's ball approaches, all eyes are on whether this bold move will cement Drew's dominance or be the very thing that brings him down. Olivia hasn't been very prominent lately on General Hospital. She's been around, though, and when the secret of Dio's parents is finally revealed, she'll probably have more of a front-burner story. She'll need to be there for her family once the chaos ensues. In real life, Lo Cicero has been actively involved in other projects, one of which just recently had a trailer reveal. On Instagram, the actress shared a video with her and General Hospital alum Jameson Jones. It depicts what seems to be a loving couple having tender moments, but the Jones narration states that they have issues. I thought to myself, there she is. The love of my life, it began, continuing with, the mother of my kids, my past, my present, my future. There she is. She's everything I've ever dreamed, everything I've ever wanted. She's always been just a heartbeat away. The mood kind of changes as the voiceover continues. My whole life since the day we met. But now maybe the reality is that we're like two binary stars destined to destroy each other if we ever get too close. We can't live together, but we can't live apart. Forever orbiting each other at a safe distance. Touching, never connecting. Burning every ounce of energy we have trying to merge into one entity, but always destined to be just out of reach. It ends with the text, join the conversation. Donate or follow our story below. While it may seem to be the teaser for the 1985 classic, Lady Hawk, it's actually for their new film, beginning tomorrow. Lo Cicero's General Hospital star Maurice Benard responded to the post with, "Yes, this makes me happy." Jones also chimed in with, "I can't wait to make this movie with you at Lo Cicero_Lisa." Lo Cicero and the General Hospital alum have been sharing social media posts about their project for a while now. The two have created a fundraiser for it on Seed and Spark, and in April, Jones posted pics of the two of them on Instagram with a description about what they're doing. A fun day shooting our Seed and Spark campaign video for beginning tomorrow. A new film project starring at Lo Cicero_Lisa and shooting very soon. Come join us on the journey at Seed and Spark. More details to come as the project goes live. And yes, those are our real high school yearbook pics. He continued, "Lisa and I also realized along this journey that my grandparents lived 3 blocks from where she grew up in Grosse Pointe, Michigan. Small world just got smaller. Blocks away even as kids, and that's Charlie on the last slide. He was a big help today. Charlie was their cute pup that was sitting in the General Hospital star's lap in the final photo. According to his post, the film's plot is, decades after a tumultuous breakup, an unexpected encounter gives this couple a second chance at romance and reveals the truth of what brought them together today. Los Cicero and Jones have been working hard to raise awareness of their fundraiser, sharing several posts, and we're hoping they reach their goal and make what looks to be a dramatic and interesting film. In a stunning turn of events on General Hospital, Sonny Corinthos finds himself confronting a betrayal that cuts deeper than any he's faced before. The longtime mob boss of Port Charles has long suspected that a traitor was embedded within his inner circle, someone close enough to sabotage deals, leak confidential plans, and compromise his operations with precision timing. The tipping point comes when Sonny, hospitalized following a cardiac emergency, narrowly escapes an assassination attempt by a nurse disguised in scrubs. The attack confirms his worst fear. Someone with inside access wants him dead. Following the botched hit, Sonny launches a covert investigation, scrutinizing every ally, every communication, and every alibi. The methodical search leads to an unthinkable discovery. Brick, Sonny's trusted confidant and cybersecurity specialist, is the mole. Evidence piles up, from encrypted messages to suspicious bank transfers, and when confronted, Brick doesn't deny the accusations he runs. Sonny sets a relentless manhunt in motion, deploying every resource to track Brick. Eventually, Brick is lured out of hiding by false intel and apprehended alive. Under interrogation, Brick reveals a far more sinister reality. He was blackmailed by a coalition comprised of Tracy Quartermain, Selena Wu, and the elusive financier known as Sidwell. Their objective? To dismantle Sonny's empire and divide his territory. Each member of the alliance played a strategic role. Selena orchestrated the assassination attempt, funded by Sidwell's offshore accounts. Tracy provided financial cover and political influence. And Brick's betrayal was coerced through threats to his sister's life. Despite the betrayal, Sonny chooses not to kill Brick. Instead, he exiles him permanently from Port Charles. Now fully aware of the alliance's coordinated attack, Sonny initiates a calculated counteroffensive. Selena's operations begin to falter under a string of mysterious setbacks, raided warehouses, intercepted shipments, and legal entanglements. Tracy finds herself under IRS scrutiny when Sonny exposes her illicit financial dealings. Meanwhile, his team digs into Sidwell's background, uncovering links to a dismantled intelligence network and draining his assets one by one. Despite recovering from heart surgery, Sonny's health continues to decline, exacerbated by stress and relentless pressure. Carly urges him to abandon the path of vengeance before it consumes him, but Sonny is unwavering. "I'm not coming back," he tells her. "I'm going through." In the sterile, emotionally charged corridors of General Hospital, a quiet but consequential conversation unfolded between Carly and Nina, two women once bitter rivals, now reluctantly united by a shared concern: Willow's well-being and the growing suspicion surrounding Drew's intentions. Carly and Nina's alliance was not born of trust or reconciliation, but of necessity. Years of hostility had defined their relationship, shaped by betrayals and family entanglements. Yet when Nina, stripped of dignity and desperate to reconnect with her estranged daughter, Willow, suspected Drew of manipulation, she turned to the one person she least expected to seek help from, Carly. Driven by maternal instinct, Nina confided in Carly about Drew's controlling behavior, how he had subtly isolated Willow, rewritten the narrative of her family ties, and positioned himself as her sole protector. Carly, already wary of Drew's increasingly domineering tendencies, listened carefully. As Nina detailed how Drew redirected conversations and restricted Willow's autonomy, Carly couldn't deny the pattern. Her own doubts began to crystallize. Their hushed conversation was meant to remain private, tucked away in a quiet hospital room. But unbeknownst to them, Willow had overheard every word. Initially seeking Carly for an innocuous reason, Willow's path diverted the moment she heard her name. Curiosity quickly turned into a gut-wrenching realization as she listened in silence. What she heard shattered her perception of Drew. The man who had stood by her during cancer treatment, who professed unwavering love, was now portrayed not as her savior, but as a manipulator. This wasn't speculative gossip. Carly and Nina spoke with calm conviction, their tones underscored by genuine concern. For Willow, every phrase peeled away the comforting illusion she had clung to. Memories rushed back, times when Drew discouraged her from reconnecting with Nina, moments when he controlled conversations about her past, and decisions he pushed her toward under the guise of protection. Those once benign acts now appeared calculated and predatory. Willow's emotional response was immediate and visceral. She didn't break down. Instead, betrayal ignited clarity. Her trust, once freely given, had been exploited. The realization was jarring. Her recovery and vulnerability had been carefully shaped by someone she thought she could rely on. As Carly and Nina unknowingly exited the room, believing their alliance remained in the shadows, Willow stood transformed. No longer the gentle, trusting figure who leaned on Drew, she emerged as someone galvanized by truth and ready to reclaim her autonomy. She wouldn't remain silent. She wouldn't be a pawn. Willow's next move is uncertain, but one thing is clear. She is prepared to confront Drew and expose the deception he so carefully orchestrated. This turning point marks not only the unraveling of Drew's influence, but the rise of a Willow who now refuses to be controlled. Port Charles' prestigious nurses' ball, once a symbol of glamour and charity, descended into chaos following a dramatic act of sabotage. Drew Kane's calculated plan to poison Tracy Quartermaine using ketamine backfired in a catastrophic twist, leaving Lois Cirillo, an unintended victim, fighting for her life. Drew, formerly a figure of integrity, orchestrated a sinister scheme beneath his polished exterior. Motivated by a deep-seated vendetta against Tracy for her dominance over ELQ, Drew secured a vial of ketamine, an anesthetic with dangerous dissociative properties. His intent was to discreetly drug Tracy during the height of the nurses' ball, framing her collapse as a health incident that would lead to her downfall. Everything was meticulously calculated: the moment of delivery, the distraction of the performances, and the social narrative he would control in the aftermath. Unbeknownst to Drew, his plan had a silent observer. Gio, a typically quiet figure overshadowed by legacy, overheard fragments of Drew's conversation and sensed danger. Acting on instinct and without a clear plan, Gio tampered with the tray of champagne glasses, subtly switching their positions moments before they were served. This small action led to an unintended disaster. Instead of Tracy, it was Lois Cirillo, Brooklyn's mother and a beloved presence in the community, who sipped the drugged drink. As the music played and the crowd toasted, Lois collapsed on the ballroom floor, unconscious and unresponsive. Panic erupted. Medical professionals rushed to aid Lois, and a toxicology report later confirmed the presence of ketamine in her system. While initial suspicion briefly pointed toward a heart attack, the reality of poisoning triggered a media firestorm and reignited tensions within the Quartermaine family. Tracy vehemently denied any wrongdoing, but Drew manipulated the narrative with chilling precision. Posing as a hero, he cast suspicion on Tracy, subtly referencing her past involvement in drugging him via an associate named Justinda. He presented the incident as a revenge plot gone awry, shifting attention away from himself. Behind the scenes, Drew quickly realized Gio was the saboteur. Their confrontation backstage was tense and wordless, but Drew's icy stare and Gio's guilt-ridden expression revealed the truth. Though Drew didn't resort to physical violence, his intent was clear. Gio had become a liability that needed silencing. Meanwhile, Gio wrestled with the weight of his actions. Though he had tried to prevent a crime, his interference nearly cost Lois her life. Torn between conscience and fear, Gio faced the agonizing choice of exposing Drew or protecting his fragile family ties. As the dust settled, Carly sensed inconsistencies in the narrative. Refusing to accept Tracy's guilt, she began her own quiet inquiry. Her instincts led her to suspect Drew, despite his carefully constructed facade. Surveillance footage and guest testimonies only deepened the mystery as Drew, always one step ahead, laid new traps to deflect suspicion and retain control. Drew's world now teeters on the edge. The fallout from the poison drink has sparked a chain reaction, fractured loyalties, shaken reputations, and the threat of exposure from within. Gio's silence has become a time bomb. Whether he speaks out or not, the truth is inching closer to the surface. As Lois remains hospitalized and the town searches for answers, the stage is set for a dramatic reckoning. Drew, once seen as a hero, now finds himself at the heart of a spiraling crisis. His ambitions have triggered a chain of events that may not only cost him power, but also his future. In a dramatic legal showdown that has rocked Port Charles, Carly Spencer and Michael Corinthos have emerged victorious in the heated custody battle over Wyatt and Amelia. The court's ruling has left Willow Tate reeling, as she loses full custody of the children she fought desperately to keep, retaining only supervised visitation rights until she can prove personal growth and emotional stability. The case unfolded with high stakes and powerful legal players on both sides. Representing Willow was Drew Kane, who enlisted Rick Lansing, a highly respected attorney known for his aggressive courtroom tactics. Their goal was to challenge Carly and Michael's claim to custody by emphasizing Willow's unwavering love and past sacrifices for her children. Opposing them, Carly aligned with veteran legal strategist Diane Miller, who took over as Michael's counsel while he recovered from serious injuries in Germany. Diane's argument focused on household stability and Willow's questionable judgment, bolstered by evidence of a romantic relationship with Drew that began before her marriage to Michael ended. This revelation proved pivotal. Diane's presentation of intimate messages and corroborating testimonies painted Willow's actions as a betrayal of trust, leading the court to side with Carly and Michael. The judge concluded that the consistency and support system in their household outweighed the emotionally complex, but ethically fraught position Willow presented. Following the ruling, Willow was devastated. However, her world shifted again with an unexpected development. She discovered she was pregnant with Drew's child. This news offered a glimmer of hope in the wake of personal and legal devastation. Drew and Rick swiftly filed a motion to revisit the custody terms, arguing that Willow's pregnancy marked a significant change in circumstance. They claimed it demonstrated her ongoing commitment to family life and emotional stability, warranting expanded custody rights. Diane responded with cautious professionalism, suggesting incremental supervised visits and parenting classes, emphasizing the need for stability for the children. Carly, caught between legal triumph and personal empathy, agreed to consult child development experts before making any decisions about modifying the custody arrangement. As emotions ran high and the community divided in support, Willow's pregnancy became a central factor in the unfolding narrative. Drew, now her partner and legal advocate, remained resolute in his commitment to both Willow and their unborn child. The outcome of their renewed custody push remains uncertain, but one thing is clear: the future of this Port Charles family is far from settled. This evolving legal drama highlights themes of redemption, resilience, and the profound complexities of parenthood amidst personal conflict. Port Charles' prestigious Nurses' Ball, once a symbol of glamour and charity, descended into chaos following a dramatic act of sabotage. Drew Kane's cated plan to poison Tracy Quartermain using ketamine backfired in a catastrophic twist, leaving Lois Cirillo, an unintended victim, fighting for her life. Drew, formerly a figure of integrity, orchestrated a sinister scheme beneath his polished exterior. Motivated by a deep-seated vendetta against Tracy for her dominance over ELQ, Drew secured a vial of ketamine, an anesthetic with dangerous dissociative properties. His intent was to discreetly drug Tracy during the height of the nurses' ball, framing her collapse as a health incident that would lead to her downfall. Everything was meticulously calculated: the moment of delivery, the distraction of the performances, and the social narrative he would control in the aftermath. Unbeknownst to Drew, his plan had a silent observer, Gio. As the dust settled, Carly sensed inconsistencies in the narrative. Refusing to accept Tracy's guilt, she began her own quiet inquiry. Her instincts led her to suspect Drew, despite his carefully constructed facade. Surveillance footage and guest testimonies only deepened the mystery as Drew, always one step ahead, laid new traps to deflect suspicion and retain control. Drew's world now teeters on the edge. The fallout from the poison drink has sparked a chain reaction: fractured loyalties, shaken reputations, and the threat of exposure from within. Gio's silence has become a time bomb. Whether he speaks out or not, the truth is inching closer to the surface. Tensions will run high on Thursday's episode of General Hospital as key characters face personal crossroads. Brooklyn, Sunny, and Lulu each will navigate emotional challenges that could shift their families forever. Brooklyn opens up to Harrison Chase, revealing her deep desire to reconnect with the child she once gave up. Though unsure about disrupting his life, she can't ignore the pull of her maternal instincts. What she doesn't yet know is that Gio, the very person she longs to meet, is already under the same roof. He's unknowingly developing bonds that are rooted in his true parentage, especially with Donna Corinthos. Meanwhile, Gio confides in Sunny about his strained relationship with Dante. Sunny, not knowing Gio is his grandson, takes on a protective role and encourages him to rely on him for support. Their growing bond, though warm and genuine, is layered with unspoken truths. Gio also agrees to perform at the nurses' ball, possibly during Donna's act, strengthening his ties with the Corinthos family. At Lulu's home, Rocco stands up for Gio after the bonfire incident, but Dante continues to hold him responsible. Lulu, believing Gio may be Brooklyn and Dante's biological son, reaches out to Cody Bell for help. Cody refuses, forcing her to rethink her next move. Though her plan stalls, Lulu's determination to uncover the truth remains steady. In a separate thread, Alexis Davis scrambles to handle a car accident with help from Spinelli. Just as she tries to keep things quiet, Rick Lansing shows up at her office. His suspicion could unravel more than just the car mess. It might also pull Ava Jerome into the spotlight. Meanwhile, Lucky Spencer pressures Alexis for answers, raising the stakes further. General Hospital spoilers. Willow overhears Nina and Carly's conversation. Horrified, discover the truth. General Hospital spoilers for Thursday, May 15, tease a tangled web of secrets, family drama, and emotional revelations. Sonny Corinthos faces a growing family crisis. Brooklyn aches to meet her son, unaware he's already part of her life. Meanwhile, Lulu's quest for the truth hits a wall, and Alexis tries to stay a step ahead of Rick. With so much unraveling, this episode promises high emotions and shocking twists. Sonny Corinthos will share a heartfelt moment with Gio. After the bonfire fallout, Gio turns to Sonny for support. He confides in him about Dante's anger and his guilt. Sonny, unaware of their real connection, offers comfort and tells Gio to reach out anytime. Dante, however, still can't forgive. He vents to Rocco, who stands up for Gio. This only widens the rift in their family. As Sonny offers to help repair things, he doesn't realize he's trying to mend ties between his son and grandson. Brooklyn opens up to Chase about the child she gave up. She misses him deeply but doesn't want to interfere in his life. What she doesn't know is, her son is living under her roof. Gio is the boy she longs to meet. Gio, meanwhile, bonds with Donna and agrees to play violin for her nurse's ball performance. Their sweet exchange lights up the Corinthos home and hints at deeper family ties. Christina slips during a talk with Dante, revealing she saw Rick's car. Dante grows suspicious. Alexis, meanwhile, scrambles to cover the damage. She's eager to dispose of the wrecked vehicle. Rick visits Alexis and senses something's off. He could alert Ava if he suspects Alexis is acting shady. That might push Ava to move the car, tightening her grip on their secret. Later, Lucky confronts Alexis. He questions Rick's story about black ice. Whether Alexis admits the truth or not, Lucky may uncover Rick and Ava's blackmail scheme himself. Lulu is determined to prove Gio's real identity. She reaches out to Cody for help, but he rejects her request, slowing her down. Still, Lulu won't back off. She's too close to the truth and will keep pushing in other directions. Amid the chaos, Elizabeth and Lucas Jones catch up. Their moment might bring calm or hint at more drama ahead. Thursday's General Hospital spoilers deliver emotional confessions, rising tension, and hidden truths. From Sonny's unknowing support to Brooklyn's aching heart, the drama only deepens. Stay tuned for more twists, only on Soap Opera Daily. In the sterile, emotionally charged corridors of General Hospital, a quiet but consequential conversation unfolded between Carly and Nina, two women once bitter rivals, now reluctantly united by a shared concern: Willow's well-being and the growing suspicion surrounding Drew's intentions. Carly and Nina's alliance was not born of trust or reconciliation, but of necessity. Years of hostility had defined their relationship, shaped by betrayals and family entanglements. Yet when Nina, stripped of dignity and desperate to reconnect with her estranged daughter, Willow, suspected Drew of manipulation, she turned to the one person she least expected to seek help from, Carly. Driven by maternal instinct, Nina confided in Carly about Drew's controlling behavior, how he had subtly isolated Willow, rewritten the narrative of her family ties, and positioned himself as her sole protector. Carly, already wary of Drew's increasingly domineering tendencies, listened carefully. As Nina detailed how Drew redirected conversations and restricted Willow's autonomy, Carly couldn't deny the pattern. Her own doubts began to crystallize. Willow's emotional response was immediate and visceral. She didn't break down. Instead, betrayal ignited clarity. Her trust, once freely given, had been exploited. The realization was jarring. Her recovery and vulnerability had been carefully shaped by someone she thought she could rely on. As Carly and Nina unknowingly exited the room, believing their alliance remained in the shadows, Willow stood transformed. No longer the gentle, trusting figure who leaned on Drew, she emerged as someone galvanized by truth and ready to reclaim her autonomy. She wouldn't remain silent. She wouldn't be a pawn. Willow's next move is uncertain, but one thing is clear: she is prepared to confront Drew and expose the deception he so carefully orchestrated. Drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you agree or disagree? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more updates. Your opinions matter, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you.